Here at the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce, as always, we love it when we can get our members to sit down in our David Sargent studios with us to tell us about a little bit about maybe where they began, but more importantly, what the heck is going on today. Well, today we're blessed to have a longtime member here, Bob Kembel with the Nehemiah Companies with us. Bob, welcome back.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Grateful that you guys care enough to have us in. That's
well,
cool.
No, we like having you in for a variety of reasons, not the least of which you've always had some neat stuff going on. Now, a lot of people, when they hear Nehemiah Company, think immediately of the coffee place. How's it going? It's been coffee weather here lately.
The coffee shop has continued to grow. It's full all the time. We've had to expand parking, and the team over there just loves on people well. And the food's all made from scratch. So, Starbucks is trying to get back into the community coffee house,
right?
And you can't just change your marketing. You have to literally change your culture. And that's what Ryan and the team over there, Ryan Rodriguez, who was a missionary that lived with me, and we put him in business as a coffee roaster. That's his dream. So he's living his dream. He's roasting coffee, and he runs the beer garden at Meridian. He runs the coffee shop.
Okay.
And he has a coffee cart that travels around to events and weddings and different things. I think he's even done some chamber stuff.
He has.
And he's just a great young man. And there's 15 people employed over there that their job is just to love on the community that comes in there. And so it's a very eclectic mix. We have lots of moms, and we have a lot of business people from Dallas and Fort Worth that meet there. If you hang around long enough, you'll see Vandergrift come through there. I'm honored that he would come in. I think that's awesome. Victor will come in every night. I love it.
Right.
And then all the college kids go upstairs, and they'll study up there in the patios and different things. So the coffee shop is finally returning some capital. Thank you, Lord, for that. It's always nice when it works, and over a period of years, we'll get our capital back. The primary long-term, that'll be a 40-year lease with 30-year lease with the coffee shop, is once we get kind of the capital back, it becomes a sustainable event for our nonprofit.
Okay.
So, Howard and I aren't going to be, around forever.
Right.
So we're always thinking about, well, how do we build sustainable cash flow streams for the ministry work that we started so that can live well beyond what we're doing. And the Nehemiah Builds Foundation has grown. The local Rotary has joined us. Chad, he's been a huge help, and so now we're in 2 Title I schools. We're in Pope, and we're able now to serve more kids. So we have 2 full-time staff now. All they do is love on these kids. So we get them after school, and then they go to wrestling, and we're well over 100 kids that we're involved with.
How long? When did you start the nonprofit? Do you recall?
We started the wrestling ministry in 2012-13.
Okay.
About the time we started Nehemiah Company. That was a commitment to do both, and we tied into that. And that was a way to kind of hold Howard and I accountable to staying plugged into what our purpose was. And we formed the foundation a few years after that. And so, we've been at it a while now, and the outcomes have been great. The kids are amazing. And it's, they just need a father figure. Most of these kids just didn't have that.
Right.
And don't have that. And so that's a big role we play is collectively as a team and kind of provide that.
Wrestling is an interesting sport. It's people think of it as an individual sport, but it's a team sport too. And you're there to support your team. And you're also there to do the best you can. And I have to think that a lot of the life lessons that you get as a kid coming up through that program carry up so much further than wrestling. That the confidence levels that they build to where they can do this can carry them to places that they never would have been had that not been there for them. Am I reading too much into it?
No, you're not. That's why we did it. We watched our kids evolve as wrestlers, my 2 boys. And then what we've also found is that we needed an after school element, because I was worried about the kids being great wrestlers but then struggling because they go off to college, they get a scholarship, they go off to college but they don't have the academic background to get to it. And so we've really shifted the emphasis to the after school program, and so the kids we're in these schools, we're in Webb and Folk, and if the school districts allowed our team to come in there and help. And then those kids that are in our program come at 3 and they go to the center. And Mission Arlington helped us with a way to do that. So we have this education center and they go there, and then when they're done there, they go to wrestling. So it's a long day for those kids, right?
Yeah.
They're starting at 7:30 and they're going till 8:30 at night.
But it's that discipline that they're building that's going to carry them.
Yeah, and just they're part of a tribe. They're part of a group of kids that are all trying hard to accomplish something magnificent in their life, and they're getting to experience what that's like, and that speed with which these kids get to grade level is so amazing. How fast it happens, and it's like soil that just needed water and fertilizer. And it's hard the moms to be able to do all that on their own.
Has it got to the program, because it has been around so long, for kids maybe that came up through the program are now still there to be mentors for other kids that are coming through? Have we reached that level?
We have. There was one of the young men that started. He was older, and he came in to work with some of the wrestling team to help, because he was was in high school and going off to college. Well, he's back now as one of our key coaches, and he's married, and his wife is now on staff with us because she was on the Puerto Rican national team for the Olympics.
Okay.
And so she came in on staff full time, and she's one of the people in the schools at Webb where there's a lot of Hispanic kids too, and then she goes from the education center to the wrestling. And so those two as a couple are in the wrestling room with the kids, training them. They met in college wrestling, and they found us, and we found them, and it's just been fantastic.
I think somebody else found both of y'all and put you together. Is kind of what I think.
That's funny how that works.
It is funny how that works.
Yeah, it's funny how that. So I'm, the Howard and I are in our 60s, and so the next 10 years for us are, how do we take the Nehemiah company, and we have a really great nucleus of young people working for us, and with the city's help, because we're public-private partner people. We have projects that take a long time.
Yeah.
We're up to at least $2.5 billion in value we've created since.
That's billion with a B.
Billion with a B, and that's taxable value. That's not, not something that isn't taxed. And so, you 3% times $2.5 billion, that's a lot of cash flow annually to all those jurisdictions.
Absolutely.
And we're really proud of that. We have to create value to restore hope by knowing him and making him known. You have to create value. I think what's hard is for cities to trust developers. It just takes a long time to do big stuff. Look how long the entertainment district, they did the Cowboy deal, and it took a long time before everything else came, but they finally hit the tipping point.
Yep.
And most city councils don't understand how long it can take. And Arlington has always been willing to do that, to make those long investments. And everybody wonders, how come they're so successful? Well, it didn't happen overnight.
No.
It started with Victor Vandergriff, and it takes a long time. And so our goal is to see Nehemiah continue to the next generation. So we have this great core of young people, and we're pouring into them. And our hope is that we can transition the Nehemiah company so that it can continue to be this kind of core favored Arlington developer that could partner on those really long-term projects that take 20, 30 years, and instead of having such a short thought process.
It's got to help tremendously, though, the fact that you now have such a proven track record. The next people that come along, they're going to realize, 20, 30 years isn't really that far, because we've seen what's happened before.
Yeah, look, we started Viridian conversation. Jeff Williams took me by the hand, sweet man, and he walked me kind of through to the council at the time, and Bob Clark, was there at the time. And I'm just thinking back, to me, that just happened like a few years ago.
Okay.
That was 2005.
Yeah.
That was 25 years ago. A lot has happened in my life, in my family, in what's in Arlington. And but it's a reminder to me that I feel like in ways we're just kind of getting started. We're just proving the concept that you can do great things in the city, but there's risk involved. It never goes exactly like you think, and so can you tolerate the political heat when it takes longer or it looks a little different, or that's people can be very unforgiving and out there in the public realm, as they should be. It should be a tough audience,
Right.
But you need those developers and city leaders that can stick it out for years and years and years and care.
Well, if it was easy, everybody'd do it.
That's right.
That's what I'll say to that. Let me ask you this. We're sitting here in our David Sargent Studios. You know David.
Yeah, he's a
David
supporter too. We love David. What a quality guy he is.
He's a great guy, and he, like you, have been involved with the Greater Arlington Chamber a long time. I mean, that's just silly to sit here and tell Mr. Kembel that you've been involved with the Chamber. Well, you won awards, you've been recognized, you've been on the board, everything. But with all the things you've done throughout your life, your professional and personal life, with the Chamber, through your Chamber membership, through your sponsoring events, all the things you do, what is it you feel, why do you do it as far as the Chamber is concerned? How does the Chamber help contribute to your dreams and your success of what you like to do?
It's called the speed of trust. Inside this chamber are leaders that not just in Arlington, but regional leaders. And just by being here and being part of it, there's a level of trust that comes with that. And so the chamber is a catalyst. It allows everything to go faster. And speed is very expensive. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest expenses in my world is the cost of capital over time.
Okay.
And that's what can be the difference between a deal being successful or getting killed. So, when you're in the business of doing things that take 10, 15, 20 years, if you can shave off some years off of that, and you can actually have confidence that the community will support a good idea. Arlington's unique in that you just need a good idea. You don't have to be old money here.
Okay.
You can come to Arlington and be brand new, and if you have a good idea, and you have integrity, and people will vouch for that integrity, you can get support here. There's no barrier to entry other than your creativity and your integrity. If you come to this town and you have both of those things, this town will embrace you and help you be successful. I don't know very many towns that have the ability to do that and that don't have these artificial barriers to entry because of who you are. I was nobody when I came here, and Jeff Williams said, you have a good idea, and I've watched you behave on another project that we were working on at the time, and he said, man, I like your style, let's go. And that was the catalyst, and it changed my life. I mean, my home's here now. This is my dream city, right here.
I think it's safe to say that Arlington has changed tremendously since you got here. You've already mentioned that you've changed since you got into Arlington. It's been a great symbiotic relationship, not just through the chamber, but through everything you've done with the city and with everything that you're already putting into place to carry on everything that you've put together, frankly, after you're gone. But through your foundation with the coffee and the money's going to keep going, you're never really going to be gone. I mean, the things you put together are always going to be with us for a long time because you haven't done it just for today, you've done it for tomorrow. And the fact that you put so much effort into helping people that you'll never meet is so impressive. I'm really blessed to have you here at the Chamber, and I'm blessed to have you in here with us today. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
We have to finish well.
We do.
That's a requirement.
We all need to finish well.
Or it doesn't matter, right? We got to finish well. So,
all right.
We're thank you.
Thank you. Bob Kembel, everybody, we appreciate him, Nehemiah Companies, everything they do, because nobody understands it more than this man, how together we succeed. That's what we do. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.